Every single Christian is going through the wilderness, whether you like it or not. Every biblical man and woman of God that finished well went through one. It's easy sometimes when God is moving so mightily in a church service or in a conference and you just sense His presence. But what about when you go home? And what about when that presence isn't there? The biggest misconception that people have when they're in a season of wilderness is they think that they've done something wrong. They've angered God. They've distanced God by what they've done. And so they're constantly looking for, what did I do? What did I do? When in reality, God is saying, come closer, come closer, come closer. I know so many people listening to me right now, they're in a dry time. They feel like God is distant. They are not seeing what God has promised them come to pass. In fact, it looks like they're going the opposite direction. This is not a time of rejection. It's not a time where God is saying, later, I'm just going to put you on hold until one day this opportunity comes that I have planned for you. It is God preparing you with the character and the strength to be ready for this season He's called you into. I believed when I was 22 years old, I was ready to preach the gospel to the nations. But God said, son, you don't have the character. It will destroy you if I was to give you that position right now. If you look at Saul, King Saul, he never went through a wilderness. He did not have the character to handle the promise that God made to him of leadership. But if you look at David, he went through a 12-year wilderness. David, when he came out of it, had the character to be a true father in Israel. That wilderness training prepared me to handle the success that God was going to bring into my life. Every single person, every individual that's listening to me right now, God has placed a calling on their life. But the key is having the character to be able to handle that position that He has called them to. That's the purpose of wilderness, and this book will equip you to be able to respond correctly so you don't extend your time in the wilderness.